Welcome back
Welcome back,
to
guys.
another iteration of From the Couch, and we did a little bit of change up here in the studio. Changed our seats up a little bit, which we may be going back to our old ones, just based on one, it not being a couch. I think that's they're like a really wide chair, but I think if you had two people that were sitting
Yeah.
on this, it would be a little awkward
Yeah.
because it's kind of
Can't
Humpty
fit too
Dumpty
many
type.
people on here.
Yeah, exactly.
Might
So
fall off, catch a lawsuit.
friends don't sue friends. Remember that. Great philosophy to live by. Great philosophy. So a couple different things, we're going to touch on today. Really is going to hone in on this past weekend, sports, what it looked like, fantasy football.
This was a weird week for fantasy.
Terrible week for fantasy for some of
It
us.
was weird. Maybe it was just me, but it was like the teams that were supposed to won, but the players that were supposed to do good didn't do too good.
Or they got injured, which is,
Yeah.
I think, everyone on my team.
Oh, really?
Oh, my goodness. It was terrible. I just found out just a little while ago that my running back, Williams, for Denver, torn ACL, but he'll be back for week 1 of 2023 season. Yeah, exciting. So I have zero backup there, and it's like they're asking guys like you and I to get out there and play, and I'm just, no, they're not really asking. Maybe you.
Not with my knee.
Not with your knee. Not with your knee. Want to touch on that a little bit, and then we have some plans coming up in the next couple of weeks here. We're going to bring in some folks within industry, some women within industry, and get their perspective on what it's like in the work environment, what it's like growing. So we'll get some business owners that are in here. We're going to get some folks that do business development for their companies, and then also folks that do proposal work. And so we'll have Teresa will come back on. I kind of gave her the spiel the other day that, hey, we're going to have some women in industry, and by the way, Teresa, we're going to need you back on set to come in and chat with us on that.
She is a woman.
She is, yep, and super smart, knows a ton of stuff, and great vision. I mean, a lot of the things that we talk about quite frequently about just the growth within the company. And
when I heard that plan about developing like a training curriculum, I was like, you came up with this on your own? I was like, wow.
Yeah. So taking that knowledge from each of those individuals and really putting together a series that our viewers can go back to, also have people to reach out to, because we'll give their contact information in there, and maybe that's something that Ben can do on screen when we're having the conversations, or maybe connections to their LinkedIn bio or something to that effect. But definitely YouTube description, as Ben just said. But kind of circling back to this past weekend, terrible moments for those that are down in Florida, and I know that your mom lives down there. Absolutely decimated. I don't know if you saw what Sanibel Island looked like, but we have some family members that own some property down there, and
Are they okay?
they were fine. Yeah, they're fine because they live up north.
Okay.
But their property was just absolutely
Damaged.
decimated.
Yeah.
Decimated. Everywhere in Sanibel was just destroyed. Fort Myers destroyed. My parents have a place that just outside of Punta Gorda, and fortunately no major issues there, but I called my buddy this morning just to see how his wife's parents' place was, and they had just a little bit. Yeah,
It looks like a war zone.
yeah, exactly. So Ben showing a little bit of footage of what took place and some of the aftermath, and I had a friend who posted a video, and it showed just kind of like water coming into the area, and next thing you know, water is 15, 16 feet high.
Wow.
Over the tops of trees. A building is moving away. Yeah, it just on these pictures here, just the aftermath of it, where you figure 145, 150 mile an hour sustained winds is just absolutely just devastating, and you feel for the people. I'm not even sure how many people lost their lives.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was a Category 5 storm, and I heard from a meteorologist that they were talks amongst their community that they want to implement a Category 6. That way, because they feel like people aren't taking these storms serious enough,
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I heard someone make the statement about there's so many new people that moved into Florida just because housing prices were cheap.
Yeah.
And there was like this massive boom that took place.
Yeah.
Interest rates were
Low.
very low, very low. So you have all these people that moved in from all over the country down into Florida, and they didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then you see the aftermath of,
What do you mean they didn't know what to do? Evacuate.
Right. But then, you kind of look at, I always think of I thought that a long time ago when I was younger about Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why don't these people just leave? Not everybody has the ability
to leave.
Yeah. They can't afford to.
And then where are they going to go to?
Right.
That's another thing.
Most of their maybe all of their family lives in that area. So, yeah. Right. Well, it's funny. Some people feel that way because, just like we get that here too every now and then. You'll hear the storm is going to be a storm of all storms, massive snow everywhere you go, and it just rains.
Yeah.
And you're like, are you kidding me? This is like such a joke. But, yeah, I feel for the people that are down in Florida, and I think that hopefully our federal government is getting the resources that's needed.
Yeah.
I know that every football game over the weekend, every NFL game was, give to the Red Cross, give to the Red Cross, give to the Red Cross. So hopefully, those funds are going to those people to be able to help them.
Hopefully,
Yep.
Yeah, I told my mom she had to sleep at work because she works in the medical field.
Yeah.
And she had to sleep in her office for like 2 days because it was like 3 feet of flooding where she was at.
Good night.
She's on like the central east coast of Florida, more towards Orlando.
Okay.
And they didn't get when it hit Fort Myers and Tampa, that area, they got it very bad.
Right.
By the time it got to her, it was just a lot of rain and wind, not too much damage.
Right.
So she just had to deal with massive flooding, power outages, lockdowns, like nobody could get anywhere.
Yeah.
But everyone's good now. No damage to the houses or anything, just massive flooding in her area.
Right. Did you see the I can't remember the name of the bridge that goes into, I know I keep bringing up Sanibel, but going into Sanibel, washed out completely. So this is like kind of the second or third repair or remake of that bridge. And Ben, if you get a chance, if you could bring it up, just that bridge connecting.
They're remaking the bridge?
Again, they're going to have to again. Yeah. So
Jeez.
this washout was so bad, and so no one could even get off the island. Wow. So imagine like if you have some medical condition or whatnot, and you have no power. So what are you doing about? Let's say you're relying upon insulin, right? Mm-hmm. And you can't keep that refrigerated, and it's hot down there. So what are you gonna do? It's just I can't remember. It's Sanibel. Yeah. I thought I did, but maybe not. Yeah, right down there. Hurricane destroys part of Sanibel Causeway right there. Completely decimated, wiped out. So that whole bridge gone. See it? That's the road that leads to it. So now you have water. I don't know if there's anything that's below that or not, but yeah, just horrible.
I could never live there.
Right.
It's nice, but when this happens,
it's gorgeous. Yeah, that's the thing. It's and that's what I was talking about. So right there,
crazy.
That used to be a road and a bridge that connected, just like the one next to it. Yeah, so absolutely horrible. Definitely praying for those folks to be able to, get that fixed and repaired.
Makes me grateful for this area that we live in. We don't get tornadoes, hurricanes, and snowstorms.
Well,
we get the after effects of it.
Right. Well, we did have that. There was a hurricane here. Oh man, how many years ago? Maybe. Oh, that's true.
Really?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's a tornado ripped through. I was actually driving home, I was driving home, and I saw the tornado come down.
You can see it?
Oh yeah. Yep.
You saw a car in the tree?
Yeah.
Where was I when this happened?
But hurricane, I want to say 10-ish years ago, 8 to 10 years ago, there's a hurricane. We had just built this house in southern Maryland, and they had the roads weren't paved yet correctly, right? So they do like the initial layer because they have heavy equipment that's going in on there because the neighborhood wasn't done yet. And they had put all of this gravel up on the kind of where the rainwater would run off, but then it goes into the Chesapeake Bay. So they have to put this gravel and then this burlap over it, and the water begins to just like completely fill up. And I'm like, what the heck are we going to do? So water's like filling up in our brand new yard. You know, we had just put sod down, and you could see, water starting to level up. There's this directly across the street. They had all of the lumber for a new house that was about to be built. And I'm like, this isn't strapped down.
Yeah.
These things are going to be projectiles like flying through. It was absolutely crazy, absolute pandemonium. But downtown Annapolis, water just, that's last year's tornado right there. That safe light just got repaired, believe it or not. Yep. Yeah. And, so Main Street in Annapolis. Yeah. It was bad, yeah. So there were some bad news bears here.
I'm trying to think, what
was that in November? I think it was November. Yeah, because we had just.
I was here.
And it went up into New York. And the subways were flooded out.
I remember now.
Yeah.
I remember. I saw the New York.
Yeah, look at
damage.
that. Look at that. Downtown Annapolis.
This was in Annapolis? I didn't realize it got this bad here.
Yeah.
Probably because I typically operate on my own experiences. And
that's all right.
Bubble, So I was like, this didn't hit me. I didn't know it was a tornado.
Right.
Wow. All I saw was the footage of New York subway flooding. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
This guy's kayaking.
Yeah. So right where that is. I mean that's all connected into Ego Alley.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy there, and they're constantly flooding out in that area. But yeah, there's Ego Alley right there. Yep.
I mean, this is literally a sidewalk and road,
right?
And then the river's in between it. It looks like she's on like a dock.
Yeah.
Maybe because I live closer to DC. I'm not close to the water. Not like this.
Yeah.
This looks bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad there. Pretty bad. But so we'll try to get on to something a little happier if we can, which would be
please.
Yeah. A little football over the weekend.
Happy.
I know, I was trying to be funny.
Going with this.
I died with that one. This way, Michigan got a win. There we go. There's some happiness. I think they are lining up to be 5-0, going to play Penn State.
Where do you see them finishing this year?
Trying
to be unbiased.
Trying to be unbiased. I think Michigan. I think they could win the national championship.
I was going to say playoffs and then probably lose to like Bama,
well,
depending on the seeding.
I think maybe Bama would be the team that could beat them.
Yeah.
If you've paid attention to Georgia the last 2 weeks, and everyone's like, Georgia's the team to beat. Georgia's the team to beat. They're unstoppable. I mean, they almost lost to Missouri.
Mm-hmm. And I was like,
now I'm not downing on Missouri, but they're just not at that caliber.
They're not a powerhouse,
right?
Yeah,
But I know that Michigan goes into Iowa over the weekend, which they've been known to be the top 5 killer. And Michigan ranked 4th.
Yeah.
We go in. Jim Harbaugh hasn't won at Iowa in his entire career as a coach and as a player.
I might have to tune in this
weekend.
weekend.
No, that's already happened. Yeah, it's already happened.
happened?
Yeah. So goes in. We're up 20-0 in the fourth quarter, and we end up scoring like one more time. Iowa scores twice in the fourth, so we end up winning that game. So big deal for Michigan football going in there. So I think we're on pace to have a pretty solid season again. I think it always comes down to a couple of big games for us. Is going to be Indiana, that's this weekend. That may be a trap game for us, but a lot of people have said, the Maryland game is a trap game. Maryland, by the way, they look good.
They do.
They look good.
I feel like
they just beat Minnesota over the weekend, right?
They crumble when it matters most, though. That's what I think.
Yeah.
When they go up against you guys or Ohio State or, actual good team,
right?
They crumble. So
well, they beat undefeated Minnesota. So that's a big one there.
It's Minnesota.
Yeah, that's true.
Minnesota.
That's true. And then we have our Penn State game. That's at the Big House, so that's nice. Michigan State, that's at the Big House. Even though they look terrible.
Penn State will beat you guys.
I hope
Penn
not.
State will do it.
Not.
I gotta do my homework on them a little bit.
And then we'll talk. That's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then we got the big game at the end of the season against the Buckeyes. So we'll see how that goes. But they got it. They always have a solid team. They always have a solid team. Yeah. And I can't stand Ohio State. I absolutely can't. I'll tell you a funny story. My wife, her parents are taking this long road trip this week, and they stayed in Ohio last night.
Uh-oh.
And exactly. And I was like, why would they do that? Are they trying to offend me? I'm just kidding. I got good people from Ohio that are really good friends. But yeah, it's just that banter. It's like being a Yankees and Bo Sox fan, or being Army Navy, and
Ohio is a great place to live in, man.
Yeah.
Don't know too much about Michigan, but I know Ohio is a great
fantastic place. Ben's been there. He loves it. Michigan. Go Blue.
Oh, Michigan? Okay. Really? It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Okay.
He's feeding it. I love it. No, there's some great places in Ohio, but yeah. So I'm hopeful that over the course of the next couple of weeks here, Michigan continues on with success. We had Ron on here a couple weeks ago, Lions guy. Good dude, Lions fan though. Heartbreakers. You saw it happen. This weekend. Yesterday it happened. 2 weeks ago it happened. The sad thing is, same record as the Commanders.
Yeah.
Who did they beat?
Yeah.
The Commanders. Sad. Your team's killing it, by the way.
4-0. Yeah, I'm happy.
4-0. They should have lost to Jacksonville, who
I know
is the only win that the Commanders have had.
Yeah. I thought that Jacksonville would give us a hard time, and they did.
They did.
For the most part.
They did.
Well, we came out on top.
Yep.
It wasn't an explosive game from I have Devontae Smith on my fantasy team.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't do too much.
No. That's all right.
I was happy with the win, though.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Jacksonville is actually good this year. They're like a sneaky good,
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I feel like that team is like really developing. I mean, they continue to develop.
There's potential. There.
There is.
And I just feel like it takes the right coach to make them start winning. That's
Yep.
all I think.
Yeah.
They're probably going to finish I see them being a 10-12 win team this year, Jacksonville.
This year?
Yeah.
They already have 3 losses, don't they?
No.
I thought you sure?
Yes.
Hang on.
I think that Eagles loss was their first loss of the season. Yeah. They're a sneaky good team.
No, Commanders beat them. That's first game of the season. What we got?
They're 2-2. Okay.
2-2. But they are tops in their league.
Division. They're in a very weak division.
Yeah.
They're in a very weak division.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, we'll see how the Titans pan out. That's this week.
Titans are trash.
Well, hopefully that way Commanders can get a win. Yeah.
You're really on this Commanders wave, man.
I'm trying, buddy. I'm trying, man. It's been tough.
I feel like you went from one sorry team to another, but
I mean, I told the story already.
I know, you told the story, and I'm just
I keep cycling over and over and over again. I felt after game 1, all right, this team's going to be something. I think I talked smack about it too.
So.
And since I talked that smack, we're 0-3.
You're in.
Well, since I talked the smack. Yeah. So, so kind of bring it out of football. Let's kind of bring it back to the next couple of weeks. what we have on the docket for us in some corporate growth, some understanding of the industry, bringing in those ladies to get their perspective on what it's been like in their growth, some benefits, maybe some non-benefits, and then eventually what I'd like to do is kind of maybe at the end of that series maybe have some sort of panel where we could ask some questions to them collectively, as they're sitting in discussing. We'll try to do that individually, and that'll happen over the course of a couple different weeks here. But getting a real understanding of what the industry's like for them and what they've seen change over the course of their career. And I think that by us being able to showcase that is going to give some people some ideas to
some insight into what it's like being a woman in this industry.
Right.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in hearing that. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And what it may do is it may open the door or the mindset to someone that's on the fence of what they want to do. If they thought, well, maybe I can't do this or I don't want to do this, and that's really the practice that we're trying to preach.
I have a lot of female friends who are like, what's it like working in that industry? And I'm like, you can do the work. It's not a lot of women, but we don't mind. Come on, more women,
Right.
I like women.
Yep.
Don't mean that in that type of way, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel that we have some absolute rock stars at the company. Absolute rock stars at the company, and seeing successes all the way around is, as we talk multiple times, the more the more you surround yourself with successful people, the more successful that you'll become. And that's really the effort that what we're trying to do is showcase what success looks like, and it doesn't have a gender.
Absolutely.
So I'm really looking forward to that event, that series, and then getting really some feedback from folks. I know that we've received some feedback on some of the feeds that we've had over the course of the last couple of weeks here, but really want to engage more with our viewership and get their opinions on what we're doing here, as well as what we could be doing. Some of the things that they're interested in, and the financial fitness stuff that we brought Ron in before. Hopefully that generated some traction. I know that Ron posted some of the clip to his social media, and then I know that it's constantly rolling on our reels and our social media. So we definitely just want to be part of everyone's growth. Anyone that listens to their growth. But yeah, for me, I mean, that's really what I got for this episode. Excited about where we're moving to. I know probably it was like second or third episode. I asked you a question like, where do you see our podcast going? And you were like, top 5 in the world.
Yeah, I want us to be like that podcast that is about, every time you listen to us, we're going to talk. You're going to leave feeling like you learned something.
Right.
That's what I want.
Right. With a little bit of entertainment, too.
With some entertainment. Yeah.
So, for me, that's it. That's all I got. You got anything?
That's it for me, man.
All right, brother. From the couch.
Peace.
See you.